Okay, so black, Negro, colored, African American. Negro comes from a Greek word, necro, which means death. Black comes from an old Germanic word meaning bleach or pale, like me. Colored, I mean, you could slap the piss out of me right now, my face would turn red. You could beat me up with stuff, and I'm gonna turn blue in like a weird green color, and his bruises are healing. You can see we're we're colored, us European folks, Caucasians, if you will. We're black. Call yourself that. You don't like, and somebody, I could say about being self-deprecating, you don't like seeing somebody you care about, somebody you love as a whole, say something disparaging about themselves, even if they don't know they're saying it. It troubles me. Like, you hear your friend call themselves an asshole. Like, yeah, you are sometimes, but that's not all you are. You're a little bit better than that, you know? If you knew what you were saying, you wouldn't say it. That's all. I'm not preaching, just making observations and also reiterating things that lots of brothers and sisters have been speaking about for a long time. I know Will Drelly was speaking of this stuff 100 years ago, something like that. I don't know. I'm not too tight on a lot of stuff, so forgive me. But I'm not going to talk about much if I don't know precisely this kind of guy. I try to be. But let me pull this up real quick. You're stateless on your own land. Basically, those titles, they don't tie to any nationality. They don't tie to any nation. So therefore, if you're indigenous here, indigenous, aboriginal, alloidal, as opposed to feudal, lord, vassal. That's why you have landlords. It's like you let invaders, conquistadors, come, and now you have to pay them to live on your own land. That's hustling and fuckery, its finest. Yeah, it's not cool. So don't play their games. Don't go by what they call you. Don't go by what they want you to call yourself. A lot of bad things can be avoided once you have that correction. Noble Drali's more famous things that he mentioned was nationality is order of the day, and that's true. I learned about this stuff about a little over a year ago. All the things that I learned about before. Didn't realize they were more sciences the whole time. And I always say it's like the proverbial capstone of the pyramid, you know, it's things I learned. Although very informally, they still felt like they were on the spirit of truth. That wavelength, they always hit me intuitively that this is true, because you have to weed, you're online, you gotta weed through a whole bunch of bullshit to get to some facts. And then you kind of have to like swallow that pill and see if it settles, and sometimes then you know, because it's easy to get your mind blown, and that's a hard thing for a lot of people to deal with. You don't want to consider a lot of knowledge. Like, oh man, that changes everything, I don't want to think about that. No, yeah, we call it cognitive dissonance. It's a mental disorder. They've done a number on everybody. They who shall remain nameless. They've done a number on everybody. They fucked everybody's brains up. Fucked everybody's hearts up. They don't want to love themselves or others. it's really bad that Asiatics, sleeping Moors, unconscious Moors, whatever, have allowed that to happen whenever it's some European shit. It's some white guy, white man stuff to be callous. I'm not saying I don't like that, but the way things run, which we're well aware of, we don't have to play that game anymore. We don't have to keep getting mad because I'm not sure who exactly said it. I'd give him credit if I remember, but so much law and so much things that are going on have to do with consent. And if you don't know that you're giving up that consent, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. It's scary, but it can be prevented by having a nationality. It could be prevented by knowing your enemy, if you want to call it that. It's an adversary. But, it's supposed to be a short video, but I don't care. It's going to be long because I'm going to talk. You're stateless on your own land. You have no claim. When you are the heirs of, I guess you could say, the Moroccan Empire, it's yours. Like Nas said, the world is yours. It's kind of bad to see that it's just not bad. It's bad for everybody. It pains me. Let's say it pains me. It pains a lot of people to see. Basically, people getting bullied and letting themselves get bullied, and they don't know that they've given their consent to be bullied, and they wonder why. And you tell them, "Oh no, man." And sometimes we get frustrated as being, conscious, aware, awake, whatever. Almost trite moniker you want to put on that. When you see these things, it's like, sometimes it's like you take a step back and you're just observing, because you know everybody around you is generally clueless. And I see all kinds of people walk by. I was like, you know what? They're probably a good person, but you see them doing things. I work in a grocery store. You see them buying pork, milk, it's garbage, cheap drinks, and high fructose corn syrup laden poison. Europeans and Asiatics, like everyone, it's just like, geez, hey, I don't care about losing a job. I've lost jobs. They're stupid anyway, but you just kind of want to say, hey, you know what? Stop. Just put that shit down. Put it down. You don't even know what do you not know what you're doing? How could you be oblivious? Not everybody has the capacity to feel in such a manner or really be awake and kind of intuitively assess a situation like, damn. All the times I said something to somebody, nobody listened. Why waste my breath again? A lot of people get to that point, and it's almost natural. I'm no psychologist. I'm not a doctor, but I always almost facetiously referred to it as what was it? Jeez, mind drew a blank. Increased awareness, dissociative disorder, or something like that, or we tend to disassociate with most people because we get to that point where the only people that listen are people who already know what you know, or they can feel you because they've been there too, and it's a good feeling to be amongst kindred spirits of sorts. but it's also kind of shitty too. Because I could be talking about doing other things instead of wasting my breath on someone who doesn't care. But it's still worth planting the seed, because after you have to plant it. It's not gonna grow sitting on the shelf, anything like that. It has to be planted, and it's up to recipient, so to speak, for it to grow. You know, you plant a lot of seeds. My dad's a farmer, my grandfathers were farmers. Not much farming per se, but I've helped them out, been around. You plant a row of seeds, they're not all gonna come up. But you don't worry about the ones that don't come up, you worry about the ones that do. And not everybody's ready. It doesn't mean everybody shouldn't know. They should know about all this stuff. Okay, yeah, about the consent. They got it from you. It's fraudulent. It's under false pretenses. They didn't really tell you. They just kind of gave you here. This is what you are. Don't look into it too much. It won't do any good. It'll lead you to crazy things like witchcraft and astrology, devil worship, pentagrams, and all that shit. Try to make it sound evil. They make it sound evil so you don't pursue it. Like, oh, let me stay away from that. God forbid I find out who I really am. God forbid I find out some truth. And, I'm still speaking to everybody, but I still have the demographic of black people in America in mind. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. But after this, if you made it this far, you will. And hopefully I'll know you too. Talk shit all you want to, build whatever, cool. Don't expect much. The effort must be put forth. Let's see here. Yeah. Horace Greeley. Look him up. Using the phrases black and white. I always say it's a kind of Luciferian inversion. Turn things upside down. The word nigger comes from a scientific term, Troglodyte Niger, which was like a little eight motherfucker. A little painting looked funny, but he was not quite human or anything like that. That word applies to Caucasians. Yeah, it's been twisted. It's been flipped on its head. And that's what happens. If we don't know any different, we're going to call it what everybody else calls it. Call them kids. I call them baby goats. Yeah, my kids. Oh, damn. You pass some little tiny goat horns through your birth canal. That must have hurt. Having them baby goats. How'd you have a goat? Anyway. And word blessing. It's like a ritualistic sacrifice. So, we see these stupid little front license plates and little banners across the windshield. So blessed. Never seen anybody ritualistically sacrificed drive. Never seen anybody who's been killed. Not drive, travel. Excuse me. Operate. Motor vehicle. That's a whole other topic there. Never seen that though. I heard of a headless horseman, but not the headless driver of a 95 Honda. Oh well. Jokes aside, Get your words right. Etymology. There's keys. You start unlocking some of these little words and their meaning, where they come from, where they come, and why, and what they mean, and why they mean it. It's one of the great things about I was happy that I took Latin in high school. And seeing this stuff now, I'm like, yo, I remember that. No matter how many brain cells I murdered in the 12, 13 years since I've been in high school, I remember that stuff. Language is key. Motu proprio? I think I spelled that right. A treaty of peace and friendship. Look up both of those. There's lots of other people saying this stuff. It's not me. Not just me. And I really hope that this isn't the first time some people have heard this stuff. It's good. It's good. Like, it's glad people learn, if they learn. But I'll be damned if it's gonna fall on deaf ears. Black Christians. I don't remember much from the Bible. I kind of hated church at certain points. It was incredibly depressing, almost scary. But I remember Jesus was talking about, Isa was talking about, like, I don't know, some stupid church camp. It's talking about the 4 seats of Christian. It was like, the first was, the good Christian, and the second was kind of iffy, and the third was kind of iffy, but more on the side of not believing, and then the fourth was a non-believer, or whatever. But Jesus said that he'd rather have you either hot or cold, but not lukewarm. He would spit you out of his mouth. And the way the dude at the brainwash Christian control center, he was basically saying the verbiage used was like throw up, like vomit, like just spit it out violently. So in one case of polarization being a good thing, if you don't like it, that's on you. We're all in control of how we save ourselves. And if you don't want to, you can't say someone didn't try. It's not just me. If you get mad about it, that's fine. If you love it, even better. Like I say, man, don't dishonor a lot of the work that your own human family have done, so that you can know this and learn this, because it's important for many, many reasons. And one of the most important reasons for me is this corporation known as the United States of America that has done countless atrocities to indigenous people here and all over the world, and as well as violated the rights of Europeans who were, just no less fucked up. I mean, just in principle alone, like, hey, at least they're not, at least it's not too personal. It's still fucked up, but they fucked everybody up. Excuse me, my language. I had a long day at work. So, whatever. It's fucked up for everybody. Some more than others. And some of us just like, what, it doesn't matter. My complexion. If it sucks this bad for me, and I'm supposed to be privileged, and God, how bad is it for somebody who is native here, who's supposed to be here, that it's been here for generations and generations? It's gotta be pretty bad. It's always going to downplay any more, downplay my own problems. First of all, nobody gives a damn. Second of all, there's always somebody's got it worse. And we can't keep with the, well, at least it's not my problem. It is your problem. You're a human being. And it's your problem. It's my problem too. Whether or not you're guilty of it, whether or not you fall for it, it's your problem. And the more I grow into my years on this plane, I realize you can't just sit there and say, hey, it's not my problem. No, you have, or that it is a problem. You have to deal with it. You have to find a solution. And that's nationality. As well as intense, deep introspection. Which everybody should do. You have to know yourself before you know how to deal with others. All that. But sum it up quick, like, I know I missed some things. I know I probably talked about more than I should have. But I don't care. Whatever. It's what it is. It's what's meant to be. You're not black. I'm not white. Do some homework. Love each other. Love yourself. And I don't know what else. Enjoy yourself. Have a lovely day. Help somebody out. You see them. Smile at somebody. Smile at everybody. Whether or not you mean it. Because it might make someone else's day. It's all about peace and love, man. There's some dude outside of Walmart said, you one of them, what do they call them in the 60s? I was like, I don't know, man, what are you talking about? Hippies! I was like, well, not really, but I said, this is about peace and love, though. I'm always a little bit too angry to be a hippie, but not so much anymore, because you can't keep getting mad about things. It clouds your judgment. You can't keep getting driven by emotions and being polarized. It's good to have feelings. It's good to be able to feel and understand why you feel the way you do. But you can't dwell on the problem. When the prophet laid out a solution, it's not going to be easy. I know it's not. I got a lot of studying to do. I got a long way to go. But luckily, we're not alone. We have each other. And that's beautiful. But you know you're not going to like it when you do. Know that. You're not going to like it when you claim your nationality. Proclaim, whatever. Sorry if I get the words wrong. You're not going to like it when I do either. You're not going to like me. You're not going to like people like me anyway. And I come to grips with that a long time ago. But it never really stopped me totally. No one's ever totally shut me down because I'm still breathing. So as long as you're breathing, it's not over. But it's a lot easier, and knowing the battle you're in for, knowing the fight you have to take, as opposed to being blindsided by it, as opposed to getting sucker punched and kicked when you're down and saying it's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair. But you should have been paying attention. Should have been. Hindsight's 20/20, but let me go ahead and shut up and ride on out. Thanks to all those who've supported me and encouraged me. I really do appreciate that, man. Right here. But peace, love, truth, freedom, justice. Islam.